As soon as I graduated from college and began working, I, like many young people, was excited about wealth and eager to build a fortune. But there was one big problem. My salary barely lasted half a month. What frustrated me most was seeing colleagues at my company earning the same paycheck with similar expenses, yet somehow managing to save money and even invest. I kept asking myself, what's their secret? What do they know that I don't? Take my friend Mike, for example. He works in the same department, supports his family, volunteers at a local charity, and even runs a side hustle delivering coffee all from the same salary. Meanwhile, my paycheck barely covered my daily breakfast. Of course, luck and blessings play a role, but there are clear reasons why Mike and others handle money differently. After researching, I realized it all comes down to habits specifically. The mistakes I was making in managing money without even noticing. Had I caught these earlier, things could have turned out very differently. In this video, I'll share the best ways to manage your salary and your money in general, so you can truly build wealth and create multiple side hustles instead of relying on just one. Before I go any further, grab a pen and paper. Trust me, you'll want to take notes. Don't ask why. You might think I'm about to tell you to sit down every day, create a detailed budget, and track every penny. Well, that's a good idea in theory, but let's be real, most people find it impossible to stick to a strict budget every day. Who has the time or energy to do that? Honestly, I've never been able to stick to a budget for more than a week. It's boring and frustrating. That brings me to a crucial point many overlook. The key isn't how much you spend, it is what you spend your money on. This misconception leads many to focus solely on saving money, thinking it's the best strategy. Your saving alone won't solve your financial problems. You might save 25% of your paycheck, deny yourself many pleasures, yet still end up spending it all on something unimportant and feeling unhappy. So what's the real solution? It's simple. Focus on how you spend your money. Be conscious of every dollar. Allocate your money to where it matters most. And this doesn't mean you should be stingy toward yourself or your family. In his 2009 book, I Will Teach You to Be Rich, American author Ramit Sethi introduced a smart approach called the conscious spending plan. He argues that many people struggle financially because they fail to spend their money intentionally, and that's where the problem lies. Ramit suggests dividing your paycheck into 4 parts. Expenses that are fixed: rent, utilities, savings and debt repayment, investments, personal indulgences, and fun. Let me give you an example. Suppose your monthly income is $3,000. You could split it like this: 50% for essentials and fixed expenses, 20% into savings and investments, 20% for activities and leisure, 10% for personal treats, like dining out or new gadgets. By managing your money in this way, you're not just saving, you're spending intentionally, ensuring your money works for you and brings happiness along the way. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe for more financial tips, and don't forget to share this with your friends. For example, let's say you earn $8,000 a month. Everyone has what's called fixed expenses, things you have to pay regularly, like rent, groceries, transportation, phone bills, kids' tuition, and so on. Take half an hour to sit down and calculate how much all these items cost you each month. Suppose you find that these expenses add up to around $4,000, leaving you with $4,000 from your salary. That's a great start. But B, smart fixed expenses often consume closer to 60% of your income, not just 50%. You might wonder, what about the remaining 10%? Well, that's for unexpected expenses. Think about it. Your car might break down, your child could get sick, your blender might stop working, or someone in your family might have a new baby. Life happens. So it's best to set aside a little extra for those surprises. Now, how much of your salary is left? About 40%, that's your discretionary income. Nice. Next, let's talk about saving. It's crucial to set aside a portion of your income, say $1,000 or more, depending on your goals. Of course, that money is yours to spend later, but the real question is, what do you spend it on? People usually save for specific purposes: a summer vacation, buying a new car, investing in their home, paying for their children's education, or building a safety net. These are important goals, and saving is essential for managing big expenses without falling into debt. Without savings, people often rely on loans or credit, which creates a false sense of security and a never-ending cycle. But here's the truth. Money doesn't grow on its own. If you leave $5,000 sitting in an envelope in your drawer, it won't do anything. In fact, it will lose value over time due to inflation. That's why investment is so important. The best way to grow your wealth is through smart investments. Always aim to allocate a portion of your income, around 15%, toward investments. This could mean putting money into stocks, a small business, real estate, or other opportunities that generate income beyond your salary. Investing makes your money work for you, growing your wealth even while you sleep. Remember, wealth isn't just about earning, it's about making your money grow. Ultimately, you're the best judge of your own situation and how much risk you can handle. Some of you might be thinking, wait, investment and savings. Do I even have anything left over from my paycheck? In reality, there are two groups of people here. First, those whose income is genuinely low, barely covers their basic needs, or worse, doesn't cover them at all. Second, those who have enough but mismanage their money, often laughing at themselves for poor financial habits. So how do you handle it? We all know incomes vary. Some people earn plenty and spend freely, while others feel they don't have enough to get by. If your income is low and doesn't cover your expenses, you really have three options. Negotiate for a salary increase, talk to your employer, or seek a better paying job. Switch jobs for higher pay. Find an additional source of income, like a side hustle or part-time work. Of course, these depend on your circumstances, but they're worth considering. Now, for those who do earn a decent income yet still struggle, the issue is often poor spending habits. They lack priorities, waste money on unnecessary things, and end up financially strained. Here's the interesting part. Imagine two families living under almost identical conditions with similar expenses. One thrives on $4,000 a month, while the other struggles on $1,000. These numbers are just examples, but they highlight how spending habits make all the difference. Revisiting our plan, let's talk about the most overlooked part: indulgence and guilt-free spending. Enjoying life without guilt. Many people think managing money means cutting out everything unnecessary. They make long lists of no, I won't buy clothes, I won't eat out, I won't spend on entertainment, but that approach isn't sustainable. You'll eventually burn out. The smarter move is to allocate a specific portion of your income, say, the remaining 15%, to treat yourself and your family. For example, taking your family out for a nice dinner once a week, buying your favorite cheese because everyone enjoys it, picking a special brand of coffee or snacks that make you happy. Some might see these as non-essential, but for you, they're part of what makes life enjoyable. A smart person spends on things they truly love, if they are not necessary, while avoiding spending a penny on things they don't genuinely care about. That's the balance. Enjoy life and feel good about your spending, without wastefulness or guilt. It's all about smart, conscious choices. Of course, you might ask, is there really anyone who spends money on things they don't like or need? And the answer is, yes, it happens every day. In fact, you might be doing it yourself without even realizing it. Let me share a mistake I made when I first started working, a trap many employees still fall into today. When I joined the office, I noticed a ritual among my colleagues. Every morning, someone would collect money from everyone to order breakfast delivery. I already ate my favorite breakfast at home before work, but when I saw everyone contributing, I started paying too. Why? Two reasons. First, I didn't want to feel different or out of place. And second, I didn't want anyone to think I was stingy. I kept this up for about a year, spending nearly half my salary on breakfasts I neither liked nor needed. How did it happen? Because humans are social creatures. Most of us hate going against the group it feels uncomfortable. So we tend to follow what others do, whether we truly want to or not. If you look closely at your friends or colleagues, you'll notice many of them dress similarly, even though their incomes vary greatly. Many of us try to keep up with the behaviors of those around us just to gain acceptance. But that's wrong. It wastes your money on things you neither love nor need. The real truth is this: spend only on what you love or genuinely need. For example, don't buy the latest iPhone just because your friend shows it off. If you're happy with your Android, stick with it. Conscious spending isn't about being stingy. It's about understanding the value of what you buy, making sure it aligns with your priorities. For instance, someone might avoid buying outside food at work not because they're cheap, because they simply don't want or need it. Yet that same person might happily spend double that amount on taking their kids out for a fun day, because that's what truly matters to them. A stingy person obsessively focuses on price, while a wise spender considers value, whether it brings happiness or serves a purpose, and balances responsibilities with desires. Remember, the miser who worries about every penny often embarrasses themselves in front of others, but a wise spender who shows self-control and purpose can inspire others in a positive way. The key is simple: spend consciously, not impulsively. Now let's talk about sudden money, because it happens. Sometimes money arrives unexpectedly: inheritance, a bonus, or a surprise check. Many people treat these windfalls as free money and splurge on unplanned luxuries. It's a mistake. You've earned that extra cash, so it's fine to indulge a little, but do it wisely. Allocate maybe 25% for splurging, and save or invest the rest. Don't blow it all in one shot. And finally, the most important point: many people think this advice only applies to those with high incomes. But even if your income is low, these principles are incredibly valuable. The most critical factor in building wealth, isn't how much money you make, is your mindset. The beginning of wealth is in your mindset. So remember, your attitude, discipline, and awareness are what truly matter. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more tips. Thanks for watching.